This video is sponsored by Surfshark. More on that after the video.
This is not the last major outbreak we're ever going to see.
How serious is this?
There's going to be more outbreaks, and there's going to be more epidemics.
10,000
That's not a maybe, that's a given.
All of Italy is going on lockdown.
Countries such as Italy and Iran are in the middle of the battle. Elsewhere, the impact of COVID-19 is just beginning.
Singapore Airlines is making a drastic move to slash 96% of its capacity scheduled through April. This comes as Singapore's air traffic virtually grinds to a stop.
WHO has been assessing this outbreak around the clock, and we're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and by the alarming levels of inaction. We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Right now, the world is currently facing a pandemic that is affecting many people around the world. COVID-19 has forced many countries to go on a lockdown on their borders, which affects most notably the aviation and tourist industry. For this reason, some airlines are choosing to cancel or postpone some routes and services as passenger demands drop to unprecedented levels, far greater impact than 9/11. Many people don't really realize how bad the situation has become. I'll be walking around all the terminals as well as show you guys the newly opened facility Jewel and its current situation. This video was shot during the afternoon, and these are all the flights for the day. As of today, Singapore has banned all short-term visitors, as well as implemented some additional screening for some passengers on arriving flights before they can enter Singapore. This is Terminal 2, and as you can see, some shops have decided to close their doors. The once busy transit areas filled with passengers are now empty with just employees working there. Many of the Singapore Airlines fleet are grounded at either the parking bays or at some of the gates. During this making of this video, there were actually more planes being parked up at Terminal 2. Many airlines are cancelling their flights to Singapore. There are still some staff and visitors walking around the airport in the public areas. The roads outside the terminal, usually filled with a lot of cars, now empty. Even Jewel, the newly opened facility at Changi Airport, there are only a few people walking around during the whole entire day. Thermal scanners are placed around the airport. While I was at Terminal 1, passengers on an Air China flight were just checking in. So you can see many people lining up at the check-in counters waiting to get their flight ticket to depart. However, for other parts of the check-in counters, they remain closed or shut off. The transit areas in Terminal 1, like I mentioned, are just full of employees working at the airport. Due to the low amount of passengers going through the terminal, some shops actually closed, including Charles & Keith, actually closed down momentarily with notices saying they will be closed until further notice. Singapore Airlines, Silk Air and Scoot have decided to park their planes at different gates around the terminals. Usually Singapore Airlines do not park at Terminal 1, But in this case, because Terminal 2 was roughly full, they decided to park some of their jet at the taxiways closest to the cargo service as well as Terminal 1. Some of Singapore Airlines are being parked at the remote base, while others are now currently parked at Terminal 4. Over at T4, you can actually see some Jetstar aircrafts, usually parked at T1, now parked at the taxiways as well as the gates at Terminal 4. For Terminal 4, as I walk around the whole entire terminal, the impact is pretty clear. Around 90% of the shops are already closed down. All the facilities and services are still available, such as the lounge. However, most of the shops have decided to close down and the employees move over to other terminals or postpone their jobs for a while. Now, usually the Terminal 4 lounge is pretty empty. Terminal 4, after Malaysia's lockdown, AirAsia stops flying over here. As a result, there is almost nobody. For Terminal 4, it's actually a special case where the terminal actually doesn't have much staff working there. It's mostly machines and robots. However, during this whole time, the restaurants at the terminal are still open, but now new measures discourage sitting and dining at the restaurant itself. So many people take away their items and eat, usually in their office or at benches outside. Now, I had to shoot this video over a couple of days because of my work and my break times. However, in Terminal 3, usually home to Singapore Airlines and the big A380s, most of them are actually parked or even cancelled. The air traffic currently around Singapore are mostly now cargo flights from other countries. However, we still do have a few flights that are still coming to Singapore. The bus bay usually filled with many tourist buses. This playground, usually filled with children playing during normal times, are now empty. Honestly, walking around Changi Airport, it really feels like a ghost town. As many people would say, seeing so many aircrafts parked up is really a rare occurrence that has never happened before at Changi Airport. Most of the ground handling staff are now redeployed to help in other sectors of the airport. However, many ground service vehicles are now parked as there's no flight for them to actually walk on. In the end, we will never truly know when this crisis will be over or how long this situation will last and its overall impact. Personally, I have met a lot of people while working at the airport. I really do wish all those that are being affected all the best, and hopefully once this virus ends, their jobs can resume as per normal. Now, I do not know about you guys, but every time I access the internet, either to keep updated with the latest news on the virus, or just surfing the web in general, I always want to have a safe and reliable network to use. That's why I choose to use Surfshark. Surfshark is a fast and reliable VPN service that allows you to browse through any websites that might be blocked in your country. They will also notify you with alerts if your accounts are being hacked online. Simply sign up now with this coupon Raskris Production and enjoy up to 83% off their 2-year plan. They will also have a 7-day free trial for Windows, iOS and Android, as well as a 30-day money-back guarantee. The link will be down in the description.